Today we are going to discuss yet another interesting topic from Google Sheet. I'm going to pick up the template directly from Template Gallery. The topic is how to create project timeline. This will be very useful for all of you because in your day-to-day work, you might come across a situation where you have to create a project timeline. And this template which we have from template gallery, the free version from the Google Sheet will be very handy and you can apply it. So I'm gonna under the template gallery, you'll find project management. In the past video, we discussed about the Gantt chart. Now today we are going to discuss about project timeline. Have a click on that. So the beautiful template project timeline template comes up, and also it has a little bit definition of project template. For example, this is a modified form of Gantt chart, as I said, which focuses on creating a project schedule that is broken down into stages. And again, you have a project title, manager, and company name and date you can give, and you can add this detail. So it has phase. First column is phase 1, 2, 3, 4, and then project week. And in that, you have a different weeks here, as you can see here. uh, Week number 2, 9, and things like these are all the dates of that particular month. And like this, you have a quarter, like this has been split by quarter, and so on and so forth, right? And also you have that the project under that you have a for example, project conception, initiation, definitions, and so on. Let's do one thing. Let's do the project timeline for Six Sigma project. Okay, so maybe I will keep this title down here. Yeah, we are going to create for this. And when you say Six Sigma, we have to convert everything into DMAC, right? So the approach we are going to use is DMAC, define, and then you have a measure, and you have analyze, improve, and control. This is for existing project, and if you happen to have the new project, new activities, or anything which is in the design one, new project or new activities, then you might use DMADV, right? Define, measure, analyze, design, and verify. Let's assume that we have an existing project, existing process we have. For that, we are going to do the one. So we can use DMAC approach, right? Okay. So here we can add the detail. For example, for sure, we are going to create the project charter because project charter will sum up everything, like who is the project owner and what is the timeline, what is the risk and mitigation, what is the quick wins, and things like this. Plan review and initiation. I think this three looks to be same. I'll keep the same thing. In the measure phase, I will do bit differently. So in the measure phase, we have to identify the baseline, right? So baseline data, and we have to add that initial targets and so on, right? And then the three key tool we'll be using it. We'll be using process capability, CPCPK, and then we'll be using control chart to check the stability of the process. We'll be using 7 control chart. Depending upon the data type, we might use the different control charts. And then you have the lastly, you have MSA. If it is applicable, measurement system analysis, we will be using it. And then we will add it like at the end of the day, we will be from that entire nutshell of baseline is we'll have a baseline, and maybe we can add key notes, key summary, right? So this is what we can have. And I'm going to add few more column later. In analyst phase, all about we might use a quality tools, we might use KPIs. I'll continue to keep the same thing, and we might use hypothesis testing, And if required, we might do design of experiment and things like this. Scatter, regression, many other things we'll be doing it. Improve phase, maybe we'll do DOI simulations directly here with the solutions and all that. We'll identify the solution, we'll do pilot run, and we'll do risk management, and of course we'll just check the performance and all that, right? And in control phase, we'll check that any outlier is there, special cause is there. And of course the control chart, we will be using it to check the stability. Okay, and of course we will be documenting of entire project. Let's say these are all the steps. Okay, so a couple of more things I will add it here. Maybe I will add, so you can see here in the right side, I'm okay, maybe I can do it from column H. Yeah, column H, writing maybe 2 3 columns we can add it. Okay, yeah. So one I will give timeline, and then action, maybe I can put like action owner, and timeline, and then we can put like what is a start date and end date, right? End date. And then we can add 2 more column. What's the duration we are taking it, and duration, yep. And what's status, we can have that one. And then based on this one, we can just keep adding this, we can add this, the timeline, everything. Okay, let's start. Let's say action owner, the first, for the discussion I'm gonna add like Mr. X, Miss Y, Mr. Y, right? I maybe I'll add it A, B, C, D, maybe A, B, and all that, right? Again, I'll put it like A, guy, B, C, D. Again, simulation will do A, maybe D, E, and so on, right? Who is the action owner, we can add it, right? So maybe here I'll put like C, D, A, something like that, right? Okay, so now start date. Let's say start date, I can put it this way, right? So this is the easy way. 15/5/2024 example, right? And let's say I might take, you can use the workday formula, like to define the project charter, it requires minimum 5 days, right? So you can just use that. We can see this is the value, maybe it is there in the this format, month year format. Okay, I will use the same format. Okay, here it is calculated, and then this is the end of it. Again, I will create this one plan. So maybe I can add only 2 days here, and then initiation and kickoff call. Instead of initiation, I will say kickoff call. Yeah, then the end of this date, and then we can put like, let's say there is another 2 days I might take, right? So okay, now this is one. Let's say once all this kickoff call done, very next day the project gets started, right? Let's say only very next day, and then baseline and all that, it requires some time. So it requires minimum, 14 working days, right? I'm just adding 14 working days. From there, this has been defined, and then you have workday again. So basically, it might take 2 days. And process capability study, again, I might do it in parallel, right? So therefore, we can just add this here, and I will copy paste the same thing. Okay, each thing what I will do, I will give 2 days, right? So 2 days it is given. So since it is coming as weekend, so it has is added 2 more days. So okay, I can just fill this up, and once again I will just add this detail, and I will take this is that the one. Okay, once it is done, the previous due date comes. For again quality tools, it requires detailed study, so I might take another 7 days, right? So again, end of this date, so I can add it. Okay, it's already added 2 days, so maybe I will take 5 days here. Hypothesis testing requires a lot of time, so I can keep it like instead of 2, I'll keep it 12 days. And then you and the DOE again, it requires extensive study to be done, right? Maybe I will take an 20 days minimum, right? Not 2 days, 20 days. And DOE simulations and all that, again, corrections and all that we might have to do. So I have to take a bit more days here. At least 10 days, I will take half of previous one. So that means 1 month we are spending on design of experiment, right? Pilot run might take maybe 5 days. And then risk management is all about parallel documentation, right? So if from here itself, we can just add it here, right? So it is parallel activity. So maybe I can just keep it here. 2 days is fine. And performance is fine. So yeah, so this is again, what I will do, I will take the previous one, and based on the previous cells, so it is already suggesting me that which cell to be taken, right? This is the one. Maybe I will start the project from May month, I will be completing in October month, right? September, October month, right? So this is the one. Duration, you can easily calculate here. There is a formula. There are two formulas we can use. One, days 360 will be better. Start date, comma, end days. So it is automatically calculated. Okay, I will just drag it up. It is automatically calculated, right? So now if you wanted to see the overall how many days it is taking it, right? So maybe what you can do, you can just add it here. You can add this cursor, keep the cursor on column L, go to data, and then you will find column stats. Just click that. And then here you can ignore the first row because the first row contains the header. You can ignore it. And you can see here, so totally 36 actions are there. And we are going to take 143 days, right? So 140, I mean, almost 5 months we are going to take it. That's what it means. And then status, again, in status also, what I will do, I will add the drop down also as well, right? So I will just go here. I'll add the drop down. I will say in progress, say close. I'll take another one. Maybe I'll say not started. I'll say it another one is open. I mean, it has aging days. In progress, I will say yellow, and close, I will say green, and not started, I will say maybe gray, and open is it has the aging days. So you can give okay. And then based on the status, based on this today's one, you might have to add it. Maybe other all the other status, just copy and paste it here, paste it here, paste this value here, again here. And then depend upon any of the actions you have completed and all that, since it's a future date, so I'm just keeping everything as in progress or not started, or whatever the status you would like to have, you can just keep it. Just double click on this. So and then I might have to add the same not started everything again. Once again, you can see that stat also as well, how many are in progress and all that quickly if you wanted to see based on actual status. For example, let's say this is not started, maybe this action, perhaps the project charter is completed, example, right? And plan review also completed, right? Example. So this is open. It has the aging days. So you can directly click on this, go to data, and then you can just directly check the column stats. In the column stats, so we are talking about column M, right? So column M, it is there, perfect. And then you can see that in progress are 15, not started 2, close are 2, open is 1, and of course the status column also it is reading it. So you can easily see that status, and then based on this one you can easily control the quarter. For example, now we know that we are going to start only in the May month, so you might start May here, June, okay. So May and June, you might say this, you might delete this column. I'll delete from column X all the way to here. So this is, maybe we can say fiscal year 1, and then 2 and all that, right? Again, July, August, September, and yeah, there you go. So this is Q2 fiscal year, and then similarly you can create September, October. We know our project gets ended here, right? So we don't need further one. October, November. Probably we might end everything in no, December, right? We don't need the Q4, so you can simply delete this rest of the column if not required, right? Okay, fantastic. Now what you can do, for example, let's say project charter has a timeline, right? So project charter has a mid of March, somewhere is a mid, right? What you can do, you can just stretch this one. Maybe you can start by, let's say you wanted to start by quarter, I mean 7 days, right? Maybe 5, 10, 15, so that it will be much easy for you, right? 20, 25, and then you can add one more column here, and then you may say 30. So project charter is between mid of this one, right? So you can just control this one. The project charter, you can just give the reference here, which column to which column. So it is taking from P1, P2, P11, right? So P11, instead of P11, we might say, right click on this, and then you will be able to edit this also as well, or cut this one and add a new one also as well, right? So based on the situation, you might have to do it. So you can cut this, move this here somewhere, and or you can just create and move here, right? I'm just cutting this one. Maybe I'll keep it somewhere. It is end of this week, right? So I'll keep it here. Yeah, there you go. I can just drag this, cut this up, and keep it somewhere here. Yeah. And then this becomes the project charter. Like this, you can just adjust and align as per the one, right? Furthermore, if you wanted to know the status, if you wanted to know which has the aging and all that, you will be able to add that formula also as well. For example, let's say you wanted to add any filter. Let's say you wanted to add the filter by, right? I'm just filter by status, right? Give okay. And then in that filter, you will be able to add. So what is the filter name? Everything you will be able to add. Similarly, if you wanted to create any sum formula or average formula, how many are average days we are taking it, right? For what we are taking an average, right? All that we can define. And similarly, so in the data, you have more option. You can add the slicer also as well. Like slicer also will be very useful to check the status. Let's say status. In this one, you can select the data range. So I will keep the slicer somewhere here and give OK. Okay. So now the slicer are also ready. Anytime anything you wanted to see, you can see, like close, or you wanted to see only close item, you can see, or in progress and all that, you will be able to see that also as well. Somewhere I will keep move this up and I will keep it on the top of this one. I will create one header for this. Okay. And I'll give the name called right click edit slicer. And here I can give set as a default view. Okay, fantastic. So this is done. Let's say close. All the item of close will come up, and then let's say in progress we have many item which in progress it will come up. Like this, you can keep doing it. So maybe what I will do, I will clear the filters. So back to this one, right? Again, once again, you can just go and keep this somewhere here on the top of the header. Like this, you can very well customize it to your requirement. So remember how to take it. You have to take the project chart. First, to save this one, you can give that title, project title name. I'll just go back here. And then you can start giving this slicer also as well, right? So therefore I find it very useful, the project charter which is there as a template in Google Sheet. You might also start using it, and you will find that it has very interesting features that you can explore out. Thank you so much. Please stay tuned for such informative videos coming up more in future. Thank you so much.